Hello, welcome from my studio. I'm Gosia Gibek, I'm an artist, and tonight I am going to show you how to paint green foliage using acrylic paints. This is the image I would like to paint, and this is my work space. Got already my image here ready, so you will see what I'm doing. Yes, you can see my palette. So on my palette I've got two types of yellow, lemon yellow and just primary yellow, light green, sap green, cerulean blue, or in this case this is cyan blue, ultramarine blue. You can see these two blues are much different, they are darker and lighter version of blue. I've got titanium white and some warm touch, burnt sienna and rose sienna. I said there is not much detail visible in this image. I'm going to take a very white brush and I'm going to paint everything with the green mess. So I'm going to make a green mess at the beginning. I'm using this dark blue color and flat brush. Next I'm going to add to this, whilst this is all wet, so I'm only going to add a touch of water. What does water do is to help to spread this paint easy and blend the colors nicely. But this is now becoming quite blue. But what's gonna happen if I mix some yellow to this? You know what's happening from color theory. If you mix blue and yellow, you will get dun, 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 green. And we've got quite a nice green. This is the green I'm kind of looking for. That's all those dark greens here at the background. And I just paint the background. I don't paint the foliage yet, I'm just painting the background, okay? I'm adding a little bit more green to this and more yellow, because now it's going lighter and lighter. And see what is happening when I'm adding yellow to green, the green becomes lighter. And I'm adding a lighter version of yellow, so it is also becoming lighter. I'm scooping more and more yellow, and because I'm mixing it all with water and just making a creative abstract mess on this paper. There we go. Yeah, I can add a little bit of sap green. Sap green is much more earthy green, but maybe I'll use that later. So more yellow, because I want that yellow to be that green to be quite light. And more yellow. And I'll leave a little bit of top left for the sky. There isn't much sky visible on this painting, but it's that light that we are after. Okay, so I need to wait for this layer to dry. And now I'm going to switch to a different brush. So the brush I'm going to use is some kind of pointy brush. And I'm going to use just the tip of this brush. I will outline all those shapes of this foliage. I can see this kind of leaf. And then this kind of leaf. And let's make a line, which is the core of the leaf. And then around it, I'm painting this pattern and more of it here. So line and the pattern like a zigzag surrounding this line. And this is not much visible because now I'm painting on a dark background. So I need to use some light color. For the paints to stand, I need to use now titanium white. Colors, yellow and reds and even green, they're quite transparent. So that's why I need to add titanium white, which will make it stand out. I think I'm gonna go back to dark paint. So this time I'm mixing ultramarine with some burnt sienna. That is going to give me nice dark brown. And this I'm going to use for all those stalks that these plants are based on. Just flicks of brush. See, it is important the way we hold the brush, because when we hold the brush very close to the tip, then we've got very good control over the lines. Then we can make them really carefully shaped. See, I've got two types of yellow. One is a little bit darker than the other. This is lemon yellow And this is primary yellow. I might mix that with the sap green now. And maybe go back to this dark color. Okay, so these are my stalks at the background. Wash my brush. And now I'm going back to paint the shapes of these leaves. Use sap green and mix it with ultramarine blue. Just think about a line and then make the shape wrap around this line, something like this. So line and the shapes that are wrapped around this line. So maybe we can just, for a start, just paint those lines and wrap the shape around these lines. So there are all those leaves. And I need to add titanium white because now I'm going over this place where I won't see what I'm doing because I'm painting on a dark area. So I need some titanium white. There is that rule that behind every light there is darkness. So this leaf is on a dark background, so hence it will be lighter than the background for this to be visible. And now yellow with this ultramarine gives me kind of dark green color. Yes, so let's finish with the strokes. Make a line and wrap some shapes that is zigzag around these lines. I'm wrapping the shape around these lines and there and there. And you can see it because now I'm painting on a light background, so I can use dark paint when I'm painting on a light background. And it doesn't matter that it's all overlapping. Now there we've got this cleavers, and I'm telling you, these cleavers, this is the weed that grows very abundant by the river near the fences. I've discovered that it has a really good property, healing property. It really helps to clear your lymphatic system, and it's got a lot of vitamin C, and it really helps with digestion. So, okay, now, see, this is all very, very vague. That's just because I need to wait for this paint to dry, preferably. However, now I am going to mix a very bluish green. So I'm mixing cerulean blue with green, and this is very a bluish green. I'll add a touch of titanium white. Now, titanium white, you have to be careful with this because naturally you want to brighten up your colors with titanium white. However, it does not work as you think it would. It's not brightening up the colors. It just neutralizes the colors. But okay, I can now fill these shapes with titanium white, leaving that dark line in the middle. Okay, titanium white, and titanium white is really opaque and it would cover anything. It's all about mark making and the way you hold your brush. The way you hold your brush really determines your marks. So if you hold your brush very close to the tip, you've got quite a good control over your marks. But I don't like to have much control over my lines, over my marks, because I believe that I want the paint and the brush to take its own kind of shape and path. So I'm holding this brush nearly at the end, and I'm holding it very lightly like this. So see, I haven't got much control and my brush is quite loose. And I'm going just to make those flicks on this paper with that brush. Okay, so I'm adding titanium white to my yellow, so make it more permanent. I'm just making these marks. Just flicks of brush. Flick, 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 flick. So I've noticed that the bottom part of this painting is more blue than the top part of this painting. The top part is quite yellow, yellowish green. That's why I'm mixing blue into green. It's a color theory. So you know that green is made by mixing yellow and blue together. That makes green. However, we've got already mixed a variety of hues, green colors. This is just light green. And so this is sap green. So if you add yellow to green, it will become lighter. If you add blue to green, it will become darker. It will be more bluish green. So I'm filling these shapes with green. There's lots of green. Now it's not visible. So what I need to do is now think about negative space. And negative space is everything around these shapes. So I've got this shape quite bright and I want it to stand out. So I need to paint around that shape, that darkness around this shape. And this will make that leaf stand out. Hence, it's good for a start to make this dark, bold lines. Okay, and now a little bit more dark blue color here, and I'm painting around the shapes. Maybe the shapes are not exactly as they should be, but you get the idea. So very dark blue color. You can even add some burnt sienna into dark blue color, into this ultramarine. That will warm it up and make it like a dark greenish brown color. All right, see, and now these shapes are kind of emerging. So we are not painting the leaves as they should be, as they are. We're not making realistic painting. We just paint the impression of these leaves. Now I can go back with some yellow, and it's good because that paint is drying, and when it's dry, then the paint kind of stands out. Yeah, they are emerging. So behind every light is dark. And in order to make this shape stand out, we need to create that contrast. Okay. And now I'm going back to some yellows and painting this yellow strokes here and mixing it with titanium white, because titanium white will help paint to stand out. Now I can add a little bit more different green. So this is sap green, and I'm painting that leaf here, and more here, and let's make this leaf a little bit more in shape with some dark line in the middle. We need more of this dark blue color. I have to say that I have manipulated this image to make the colors a little bit more vibrant, because I really like vibrant colors. And painting the negative space around those leaves in order to make them stand out. And this is somehow emerging, don't you think? What do you think? Do you have any questions? And you know what? The best painting is when I start painting something and I feel like, oh, it does not go anywhere. But after a while, I'll go back to it, and yeah, and it will kind of be all right. It's, like I said, it's very good to wait for the layers to dry, so the paint stands out better on a dry kind of layer. and there isn't much detail in the background, so I'm just going to make like a mess of different mark making. Okay, some warmth into that space and some between these leaves, and it's just mark making. You can keep going back to it and just make patches of this color. Do you have any questions? Oh, thank you. Bird songs, yes. My studio is in Accrington at Howard Art Gallery. So the park surrounds my studio, and I've got like a Velux window open. I can hear the birds singing. Yes, yes, it is. It is really, really lovely to hear. Okay, I will right, make this leaf a little bit more stand out on this side. So I'm using titanium white, mixing with blue this time. And to make it even more stand out, I need to add some dark color just in the background and paint in negative space. Now my brush is, I need to wash my brush because I've contaminated my colors. It's very important to keep your brush clean and wash it every so often, especially if you're changing color dramatically. So if you have painted something yellow and your brush is full of yellow and you want to make something blue, paint something blue, make sure that you wash the brush, otherwise you will get green. So either you can use another brush or just wash your brush. So what do you think? I hope you will enjoy this demo, and if you have any more questions, please let me know.